Hello, gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about 3 different defenses that you should be using after the patch. So if you didn't read the patch notes, basically what changed is you can't be doing the loop blitz anymore. They changed how second level defenders behave on contains. And I'm going to show that to you real quick before we get into the defenses that actually work, because I just want to show you what they've changed. So we'll just do nickel 3-3, linebacker blitz 0. And I'm just going to spread my linebackers, contain. And it's not important for you guys to know the setup because it doesn't work anymore. Bring these guys down to the defensive ends, like on the outside hips. And this is, where they would be in a contain before the patch. So you see he's still on his standard pass rushing angle, his blitz angle. The only way he changes to a contain if he comes down to the line of scrimmage. But then if you click off, you're going to see he'll drop back a couple steps and he's now on his pass rush angle again. So you have to move him like all the way down like that. And at this point, it's not even worth doing for 2 reasons. First of all, it's no longer a loop blitz. You're not going to get those disengages whenever he's lined up that far from the defensive end. It's not causing any confusion. Yes, it's like still decent and you have a chance of getting one free, but moving these guys down and getting them exactly on the line of scrimmage just takes too much time. And if you mess up, it's kind of useless. So you would think that this could be decent, but fact is it's really not. So let's go ahead, show it off. Guy still comes in clean, but it takes way too much time. And again, you're just better off using like DB Fire 2 at $1 because it's like effectively what you're doing. So yeah, you see how it's not working anymore, and that's how they changed it. Second level defenders no longer contained. They have to be on the line of scrimmage. Okay, the first defense we're going to talk about is going to be 3-3 to 3-3 Cub. Now, having both formations is pretty important, I would say, because you do want to put safeties in at linebackers for 3-3. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, I'll just briefly go through it. If you hit Y at this formation menu or triangle, you can put safeties in at these second level positions. So like number 54 and 45 can be changed to safeties if you so choose. And that'll just add more speed to your defense, better coverage stats. That's the reason a lot of people will do it. In the event that you're going to be sending 5 at the quarterback a lot, you can leave really good pass rushers at outside linebacker, and that's fine. That's just kind of how you want to play defense. It's up to you. As far as your custom audibles for 3-3 Cub, you definitely want Mike Blitz 0 to stay in there. It's already in there by default. Leave it in there. And then Cover 4 Show 2 is another one you want in here. And then these other 2, completely up to you. Just make sure you have these 2. And then for 3-3, this is going to be the formation we come out in because we're going to audible down. So we'll come out in, let's just say cover 3 drop. And then let's come out in a random play. All you're going to do is hit X or square, D-pad right once, and then select whatever play. I'm just going to do Mike Blitz 0. And then after you do this, all you have to do, crash your defensive line up, and we're set up. Now you do have the option to hover in this gap on the same side as the running back, and that'll help out a little bit in regards to getting some pressure in. But yeah, just run it like this. Somebody's coming in clean. In this case, 2 people come in clean. It doesn't get easier to set up. I will also say that it is a perfect alignment. Like, it's really hard to run against this. And overall, yeah, you have like a kind of a bare front, and then you also have a wide edge, and it's just really, really easy. In regards to like other details, I'm actually going to try to get through this video extremely quickly. If you have any questions about this defense or any of the other defenses I talk about in this video, let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely answer. But yeah, I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long breaking down these defenses to like the last intricacy. So yeah, that's going to be 3-3 to 3-3 Cub. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Next up, let's talk about Dollar. And Dollar has always been one of the best defenses in the game because it gives you a lot of speed on the field. It's just a really good alignment. It holds up against the run. It's just always good. The thing that's kind of a problem is at this time of year, people start to feel a little bit more comfortable against Dollar because they've seen so much of it. They kind of know what does and doesn't work. And that's kind of what always happens in a Madden. Just like the ebbs and flows of the season. At the very beginning, Dollar is kind of oppressive, and then people figure it out. And I think that's where we're at. That doesn't mean Dollar's bad. I still use Dollar all the time because it's just objectively good. It's just offense starts to pick up steam at this point in the year. As far as setting this up, it's extremely easy. I'm just going to talk about DB Fire 2 because Spinner is very similar, but the thing I like about DB Fire 2 more is you can baseline press out of it. You can't baseline press out of spinner. So against a tight set, like tight offset, I'm always going to change my auto alignment to base. So I click my right stick in for these coaching adjustments, change it to base, and I'll just briefly explain why that's so important. So the reason you want to base align and do it at the menu is one less adjustment, and then the reason for base aligning. I'll go ahead and press and show you. We have these flat zones who are way out here. They're setting the leverage. They cannot be out leveraged to the flats. Meanwhile, if you base align press, so we get them on a standard alignment, they're so far inside, they're like head up over the receivers, which you wouldn't think would be a problem, but it is in this year's game. The flats just, they get beat out there so easily. You want them to be further out. And then the other reason is the slot cornerbacks, when you base align press, they're going to be in the same spot every single time, and you get blitz consistency this way. So I just wanted to explain that. A little long-winded, but yeah, that's the reason. Any questions, let me know in the comments. As far as the blitz setup, we're already set up. You can send 3, 4, 5, or 6 out of dollar. This is the standard 5-man. If they don't block the running back, one's usually coming in clean. In this case, 2 come in. You can always really kind of count on 1 if they send everybody out. Now, one thing I'll say, don't always want to send 5. Never always send 5. It's just a bad idea. Mix up who you send. In this case, against tight offset, I'll sometimes man up the running back. Maybe change it up to something like this. I'll use her the weak side. I'll do something like this, right? Come out here to the flats over here. Make sure nobody's out here. Do something like that. And then you can also just do a max coverage. You can do like a cover 3 on one side. This is very advanced, I know, guys, and it's not easy, but this is a really good shell against tight offset. Run something like this. And overall, decent pressure with 3. And then the last thing I want to talk about in regards to dollar goes, if you're struggling against like an inside zone or 0-1 trap or whatever, just pinch your defensive line. Make it easy for yourselves. Now, this doesn't like guaranteed blow it up or anything, but it just makes them like less likely to run an inside zone or 0-1 trap, because they see a pinch front. They're just gonna be like, okay, well, their blitz is worse, so I'm just gonna pass. And that is true. The blitz is worse when you pinch your defensive line, but on early downs, you just might be better pinching your defensive line, making sure they can't just like run the ball easily. So in this case, they do get positive yards, but take my word for it, they see the pinch line, they're not going to run nearly as often, unless they have like King Henry, Quad Father, or Mutt. That's the only time they'll just like still run it anyways. But yeah, that's going to be how dollar is currently ran. For the final defense of this video, I'm going to break down nickel over. Now, people were using nickel over a ton at the beginning of the year, more specifically out of Overstorm Brave. But what I'm going to show you today is something that I did design myself at the beginning of the year with Overload Blitz. And this is something I still use to this day. I find it extremely effective because it stops really any shotgun run, and they can't really send their running back out. Like, they realistically can't. They need to block the running back. So Overload Blitz, and then we'll just do Saints in. And the setup is extremely simple. All you're going to do is pinch your defense with RB or R1, and then left stick down, and then drop your slot cornerback into coverage. I don't care what you do. You can put them on a seam flat, put them on a curl flat, put them on a hard flat, whatever you want. In regards to putting other guys into coverage, I do it all the time. I do something like this against tight offset constantly. And the reason for that is it's just confusing. And it's having an additional deep zone over here helps against like angle posts and stuff. But yeah, this is going to work really well. You're going to see they send all guys out. Defensive end comes in clean. Joe Tryon's not even the fastest guy. If you play Mutt, like, you have 95 speed defensive ends now versus what you just saw, which was like 83 speed. So this wasn't even that fast. But the fact is, he comes in clean. They don't block the running back. That's going to happen. If you guys want like the full breakdown on that blitz, by the way, I have that on acemadden.com under the Chiefs defensive ebook. And I have full breakdowns versus all of the meta formations, including this one. It'll really help you out in regards to stopping some of these formations. But yeah, just use code ACE for 15% off on checkout. You'll gain access to every single ebook, including the Chiefs defense. Very, very good. In regards to what happens if they block the running back, you're going to see it gets picked up perfectly. There's nothing you can do about it. You can keep the slot cornerback blitzed if they start doing this a lot, and sometimes you'll get one free. So let's go ahead and look. Blocked running back. You're going to see, boom, in this case, running back does pick him up. So I don't send 6 very often. I actually send 5 like a ton. And then if they just keep picking it up and they have tons of time, I'll start dropping like this guy into coverage. And I'll do like, you know, do something like this, right? Like this is going to be really, really good. As a 4-man pass rush, if you have edge threats and they don't have edge protectors, you're going to have a field day using this defensive front. It's going to get after the quarterback in probably around 2 seconds. Like this was not even that fast, but it was still pretty good. So yeah, that's going to be my top 3 defenses as of right now. And that can change. If it changes, I'll definitely update and I'll do another video. But I don't really see that happening. We're at the point of the year where this is kind of the meta. I don't really see it changing. But again, if it does, I'll definitely make another video. In regards to actually defending certain formations, I do recommend you guys check out acemadden.com if you really do want to get better, because we have answers versus tight offset, trips tight end, bunch, U-trips. We have answers in specific shells to clamp down on these formations, because we know what the common routes are and what the users are actually trying to do out of those formations, or we can just make things easier for you. Now, I'm not going to say that all the adjustments are easy to do, but if you get them down, you will actually start getting stops. Even right now, in this state of meta where offense is so easy or so much easier than defense, you can still get stops. So check that out, acemadden.com. Chiefs defense, see Vassie's dollar defense. Just use code ACE for 15% off at checkout. You'll gain access to every single ebook, every offense, every defense that we have on the site already. So yeah, check that out. I'll see you guys later.